Hello crafty friends, my name's Alicia, but you can call me Crafty Owl. And in today's video, I'm going to be getting crafty once again with the February 2025 Happy Mail subscription box from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. And make sure to stick around because I'm going to tell you about a couple little giveaways and a bonus cut file for channel members. Welcome, or perhaps welcome back to my channel. Earlier in the month, I unboxed and got crafty with the latest Happy Mail subscription box from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. Up on screen now is a look at the card I made during that unboxing. And not only did I test out stenciling on mulberry paper, but one lucky US subscriber won the box for themselves. I told you I would be back to share samplers that could be won by US or international subscribers. So today I'm going to get crafty once again and make a trio of cards, and I'm going to tell you how you can get entered to win. If you're a channel member, you'll also want to stick around because I have some spring sentiment SVGs that I'm going to be sharing with you as well and showcasing on today's cards. In front of me is a look at each of the papers that came in the Happy Mail subscription box, including this fun little envelope here on the left. And this is what 2 lucky subscribers will win. So it's kind of a little sampler pack of what was in the box. The February box was full of beautiful spring colors and papers, and here in just a couple days they are going to be releasing the March 2025 box. So make sure if you haven't yet followed them here on YouTube or haven't checked out their website, go ahead and do that. I will have both of those linked down in that description box below. Now, if you do decide to do some shopping, my affiliate link, which means I get a small portion of your sale at no extra cost to you, you can tie it to a special discount code. If you use CraftyOwl10, you can save 10% on most items in the shop. Who doesn't like to save a little money on their crafting supplies? I know I do. Today I'm going to be making 3 spring cards, and as I get into the process, I will tell you about the products I use both from the box and just items from my stash. If I do leave you with any questions, feel free to leave those in that comment section below, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. Let's get crafty! To create the floral focal point on today's cards, I am using the Petal Pusher die from Tailored Expressions. Now, if you don't have this die, you could definitely use a different floral set or even an electronic cutter file. For the petals, I chose 3 different purples from the box, a textured and 2 glittery pieces, and for the leaves and stems, I chose 3 different greens, a foil, a dotted, and a crinkled. Off camera, I cut the petal portion in the 3 different purples, and to help keep this together, I put a little bit of press and seal on the back of the cardstock before I removed it from the die. Now, I did go ahead and remove the outside or the negative piece from the outside petals, but I wanted to show you here how I did that. I just carefully peeled back around the edge, and then I just got rid of any stems or leaves that were left in that area. Now, with the 2 glittery papers, I did have to help it in some areas detach, where it didn't quite cut perfectly, but overall this cut pretty well with my standard die cutter. I will be adhering my flowers to 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop's white wood grain cardstock. If you've been watching my videos lately, you know that I love this stuff, and I think my favorite technique now is stenciling onto it. Up on screen now you can see a couple different cards I've done recently, and I just love the added texture it gives the stenciling. I will link this cardstock in the description box below if you want to check it out. Off camera, I used the Petal Pusher die on a piece of white cardstock that measures 4 by 5 1/4, which is the same size that I cut my wood grain pieces to. I'm going to use this as a template to help me get the petals and the stems and leaves placed just right. So to do this, I added a little adhesive to each of the corners and removed most of the tack with my fingers. That way I can peel this up without ruining the wood grain cardstock and keep reusing it. Once that was in place on the first piece, I grabbed a petal from, this is kind of the glittery one, the finer detail glitter, and I got that added into the opening. Then what I'm going to do is rotate around. The next petal I'm going to do the more sequin glitter paper, and then I'm going to go down to the texture. I am adding this with liquid glue so I have some time to get it in place, and you'll see that each time I place one of the petals I do make sure that I can lift up the template around it. That's just so I don't accidentally glue that in place. I did most of the rest of the adhering off camera, and you can see the finished petals here. Now I did end up with two of the sequin glitter pieces closer together than if there would have been an even amount of petals, but I think in the end it will even out and look super pretty. For the center of the flowers, I brought back in the Petal Pusher die and a scrap of textured gold cardstock from the Happy Mail box. I got that put in place with the same liquid glue, making sure to have it rotated to fit in the opening, and then I brought in one of the set of stems and leaves. I did already pre-die cut these off camera and mix and match them for each of the card fronts. Once I had my stem and leaves in place, I carefully removed the template, and then I used this same technique for the other two card fronts, and here's a look at those finished. My original plan was to use white card bases. I thought the wood grain texture would look nice with just a plain white border around it, but I didn't think it popped enough, so I decided to make my own colored card bases. To do this, I found an ink that complemented the purples in the petals, and then I masked off the back side of the card base. Now I can just use a blending brush and that ink and go around those outside edges until I like the shade of the color that I have. Now when I bring back in my card front, there is a colorful border and I didn't have to use different cardstock. Here's a look at the 3 cards so far with the card front onto their ink blended base. For the sentiments for my cards, I created some spring and Easter SVG files that I cut with white cardstock and the shadow out of vellum. Now, if you're a channel member, check out the membership tab today and look for the graphic that's up on screen now. This is an extra special bonus for you. While I adhere all of this together, I thought it would be a great time to tell you how you can enter to win one of those 2 sampler packs. Before I do that though, I wanted to show you how I do put one of these sentiments together. I use tweezers and liquid glue and add a little to the back. Now these sentiments, while some of the letters are connected together, some of them do come out in parts. Once I have a good chunk with adhesive, like for this first one, it's the H in hello and SPR in spring, I put it onto the shadow and just try to get a nice even border. Then I'll go to the next chunk, which is ING in spring, and I work my way usually from the biggest chunks down to the littlest. And luckily, since there is that shadow, it's kind of easy to figure out where everything goes. And now I'll tell you how you can enter to win one of those 2 sampler packs. This giveaway will be open to US and international subscribers. If you haven't yet clicked on that subscribe button below this video, go ahead and do that now. You do need to be at least 18 years old. To enter, what you're going to do is visit the 12x12 Cardstock Shop, and I want you to tell me 2 of your favorite cardstock colors from their Encore line. The Encore line is their textured cardstock. It comes in 12x12, and the reason I want to know those colors is because in March I'm going to be unboxing it here on my channel, showing you the different colors and the awesome swatch books that you can get to go with it. Now, when you leave that comment below, make sure you give me specific name colors. Don't just say red or pink. I want to know the exact red and pink that you're in love with. Again, you will need to leave 2 specific colors below, at least. You can always tell me more. Now, if you're in the US, you're going to want to include the hashtag #USSubby. Just like it shows up on screen, you need the hashtag no spaces. If you're an international subscriber, you're going to leave that same comment with at least those 2 colors, but your hashtag will be #internationalsubby. Now, we are going to abbreviate it just a little bit, so make sure you follow what's up on screen now. Again, you need the hashtag with no spaces. Comments must be left by midnight on Thursday, March 6th, and then I'll be back around the 15th of March to announce the lucky winners. They will have 1 week to claim the prize, so make sure to stay subscribed and turn on that bell for all notifications so you know when I've made the announcement. Once I had all of my sentiments put together, I once again used liquid glue to adhere these to the card fronts. I did try to keep it behind the die cut letters so the adhesive wouldn't show through the vellum. To finish the cards off, I added a little bit more sparkle with some green gems, and here's a close-up look at the finished cards. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I made these 3 spring cards using papers from the February 2025 Happy Mail box from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. If you did, as always, a thumbs up is appreciated. Channel members, don't forget to check out the membership tab for your bonus SVG, and to the subscribers, good luck in the giveaways. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch all the way to the end of the video. I hope now you'll consider clicking on one of the videos or playlists I have linked above. And if you are interested in any of the products or tools I used in today's video, I do have some links in the description box below.